Hello, everyone. Dave here.
And I'm Dirk. And I bring with me tidings of the apocalypse.
Yes, so my copy of Age of Apocalypse finally arrived. So now we're going to do an unboxing and then we're going to start playing the campaign. So this video will be the unboxing.
Yep, and then we will do some deck building and get it to the table, and we'll play the heroes in the box. So we'll get a chance to see who they are.
All right.
And I can finally see who the villains are.
Yep. So the secret will finally be out.
Well, part of it.
Part of it, anyways. Yeah, he still doesn't want to know who like villain
I
fight.
don't want to know who they are until I'm fighting them. So,
Okay. So with that, let's get to the apocalypse. Okay, so we're at the table. We got the box here.
the four horsemen are gone and the apocalypse is here.
Well, the four horsemen might be in here, though.
Really? Okay.
They might be.
Well, yeah, I guess that is Marvel. They do have them.
Yep. So we're going to shrink wrap here. And let's see what we got.
We have a book that looks a lot like the cover.
We have a book that looks a lot like a cover. And we got some decks here. So
Cards in a card game? Who would have thought?
who would have thought? There's cards that Dirk does not want to see.
That is correct. Hide those.
So we'll put those over there. So the heroes is Bishop and Magik. So we'll open those up and we'll look at their decks here in a second.
And I'm looking forward to playing Bishop. He sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Magik. I'm looking forward to both.
I am too.
Okay, so let's look at the booklet here. Let's see if there's any new rules. So we have a new rule called Find. When you are instructed to find a card, search each area where the card could be found. Play area, set aside area, player deck, discard pile, encounter deck. And the players should not unnecessarily search game areas if they know where the card they are looking for can be found. Do not look at face down encounter cards that are currently dealt to players.
So what if the card can be found in your collection? Is that part of it?
No.
No? Okay.
No. But if you know that your nemesis hasn't shown up yet, there's no reason to search through the encounter deck for it because you know it hasn't been put in.
They're not going to let you shuffle.
There's no
real need to.
There's no reason to shuffle. Also, there was teamwork has changed. After a minion with teamwork enters play and engages a player, if there's at least one other minion that shares the specified trait in play, the minion that just entered play will activate against the player as it is engaged with.
Okay, so all of them don't activate anymore like they did previously.
Yeah.
Which that's a huge relief because man, that was hurtful at times.
Right. So we got the victory display. That's the same amplify icon. Okay, we got standard 3 encounter set. So we have a new standard. That's interesting. The Age of Apocalypse comes with the standard 3 encounter set. This set changes the way Nemesis set enters the game by replacing the Shadow of the Past treachery with the Pursued by the Past environment. Pursued by the Past has both a permanent and setup keywords.
Ooh, it's an environment now, so it starts in play, probably.
So it always begins the game in play.
There you go.
And cannot leave play.
TFM, right?
The rest of the standard 3 set places counters on the environment in order to bring Nemesis sets into play. Standard 3 is approximately the same difficulty as the original standard set. When a scenario requires a standard set, you may replace it with standard 3.
Do they have an expert 3 too?
I don't believe so. So we'll have to check. But they're only talking about standard. So I assume if you're playing expert, you would just use the expert 1. Or you could use expert 2, I guess. But that would be pretty rough. Campaign mode rules. Each of the scenarios in this expansion can be played individually as a standalone adventure or together with the other scenarios as part of one over. Okay, that part's the same. We're going to campaign-specific cards. During a campaign-specific cards may be added. Okay, that's the same. We got a campaign log in the back. Printable copy of the campaign log can be found on the webpage. Cards 164 to 183 were created specifically for use of Age of Apocalypse. 171 to 176 are player campaign cards that can only be used when playing Age of Apocalypse.
Well, we get campaign rewards.
Side missions. So
wait, what's the expert campaign rules?
And to play Age of Apocalypse expert, see the expert campaign rules on page 20. Okay.
So side missions, I was glancing ahead just a little bit while Dave was reading the other, and I can definitely tell you these are not what I was expecting when I saw the word side missions. These are not the same. They're messing with my side missions already.
So yeah, in the Age of Apocalypse campaign, the titular villain's rules extends across all of North America and threatens the rest of the world. To represent the global nature of this crisis, the Age of Apocalypse campaign introduces side missions. Side missions are side schemes with the mission trait. They represent events taking place around the world while the heroes combat the villain. Because the heroes are already occupied, they must rely on their allies to defeat these side missions. If they are successful, each player earns a reward.
Okay.
So, side mission overview. When setting up scenarios 1 through 4 in campaign mode, shuffle the Age of Apocalypse encounter sets into encounter deck. Then randomly select one of the available mission side schemes numbered 1 to 5 through 4 to 5. So
there's
and reveal.
Okay, so
there's 5, but do not use number 5. Only use 1 through 4.
5
for the first 4. Yeah, they want number 5 to be for scenario 5. It looks like. Mission side schemes are available unless the name has been struck from the campaign log.
Okay, so you get them one time, they won't repeat. Okay.
Yeah, mission side schemes numbered 5 to 5, Protect the Professor, is reserved for scenario 5.
Okay, and it sounds like
it has his name, which I've covered up before you saw it.
Okay, so good. I'm glad I wasn't reading ahead there. So it sounds like then we're only going to have one per game is what it sounds like based off this. So.
But it's but 1 through 4 it's random.
Yeah, and then but once you do it, you don't do that one. So in the course of the campaign, we will do all of them. So
we'll do all 5. Yeah, we'll do all 5 scenarios.
I wish they would maybe do a couple of extras so there was a little replayability, but I'm good with it though.
Okay. Mission side. Oh, that's.
Now I can't read it. I'll look away for a second.
Okay. Mission side schemes begin the game in a separate game area called the mission area. Players cannot thwart mission side schemes. Cards in the mission area are in play, but under no player's control. They cannot be affected by card abilities unless the ability refers to the mission area.
Okay. So
they're going
to tell us how to get rid of them.
Yep. After putting the mission side scheme into play, randomly select an available Overseer minion and put it into play in the mission area. Overseer minions are found in the 5-card Overseer set on the reverse side of another name that you don't want to know yet.
So now I wonder if the Overseers are available as regular character or a regular module away from the side schemes. Maybe.
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so because they're double-sided.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the one side, I think they are. The Overseer side is for just side missions, which I think it just... most Overseer minions have mission responsibilities. This is a new type of force response that only resolves after players discard cards from the top of their deck during a mission attempt.
Oh, so maybe not.
After putting the Overseer minion into play, put the double-sided mission rules card into play next to it. Then the first player takes control of the mission team support card, mission side face up. While a mission side scheme is in play, when a player plays an ally, they must choose to either play that ally into their game area per the normal rules of the game or play it into the mission area. Allies in the mission area are used to make mission attempts. They do not count towards your ally limit. Treat the printed text box of each ally in the mission area as blank, except for traits.
Okay, so no Maria to side missions. Got it.
Yep. That also means that Nick could technically stay out for more than one turn.
Ooh, that's good. But he wouldn't draw you the cards or anything.
No. Players may attach upgrades to allies in the mission area. When a card in the mission area leaves play, place it in its owner's discard pile.
Okay.
All right. Then we've got mission attempts. So mission attempts are triggered by the mission team support card. When a player makes a mission attempt, they resolve the following 5 steps in order. Number 1, discard X cards from the top of their deck, where X is the number of allies in the mission. Assign each of the discarded cards to a different ally at the mission. If a resource icon on the ally matches a resource icon on the card assigned to it, that ally participates in the mission attempt. All resource on cards discarded for the mission attempt may be used to match any resource icon on an ally at the mission. Any resource icon may be used to match an ally with a wild resource icon. Return the discarded cards to their discard pile after determining which allies will participate in the attempt. Gather X damage tokens into a damage pool where X is the total attack of all the participating allies. Deal damage from this pool to enemies at the mission one at a time until there is no damage in the pool or there are no enemies remaining at the mission. Remove X threat from the mission side scheme where X is the total fort of all the participating allies. When the mission side scheme has no threat remaining on it, it is defeated. The mission side scheme cannot be defeated while there are any minions in the mission area. The Overseer minion cannot take damage while another minion is in the mission area. After defeating a scenario, update the campaign log by striking out the name of the mission side scheme that started the game in play. Then follow the instructions for defeated or not defeated next to the side scheme. If an Overseer minion was defeated that game, strike its name from the campaign.
Oh, they don't come back either.
They don't come back either. And here they
if you pass the mission, they don't come back.
And then here they have showing like Magik's crown matches Randall because Randall's wild. X23 is a strength, so this clobber card matches. And then Morrow is energy, but the Bloodstone is wild. So in this case, Morrow, X23, and Randall would be able to participate in the mission.
Okay.
So you would add up. So it looks like they would have six attack. So they would apply 6 damage to Sugar Man here, which
in a 2-player game would be out of 10.
10 health, right? And then we have 4 threat. And so this is 10 threat on here. So we'd be able to do 6 damage to Sugar Man, and we'd be able to remove 4 threat from the side scheme.
Okay.
All right. Then we got a comic, which we'll get to when we start scenario 1, which will be in the next video.
Oh, so that's interesting. So they like really embraced the whole side scheme thing on this one, like with the player side schemes now and the mission side schemes. I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so what do you want to do? Let's go up in order. Let's do Bishop first.
We'll do Bishop first. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but we're going to switch to the blow up camera.
Okay, so we got Lucas Bishop, 4 recovery, mutant temporal. He's temporally displays. As a response, after you change to this form, add a temporal card in your discard pile to your hand.
So he's got a hand size of 6 with 12 hit points.
Yeah.
All right. And so when you flip him over, he becomes just Bishop. He's a 2 thwart, 2 attack, 1 defense. He is an X-Men with temporal. His ability is energy absorption. So as a response, after Bishop takes any amount of damage from an attack, discard an equal number of cards from the top of your deck. Add each resource card discarded this way to your hand. And so we know that Bishop has some additional resources, so he's definitely trying to do them. So we've seen some of the cards, but I'm sure he's got a lot more uses for those.
All right, and then the signature ally is
number 1.
Yeah, he's got more than one. So Malcolm here, he costs 3, 1 thwart, 2 attack, temporal, X-Men, 3 hit points. Action: discard a resource card from your hand. Ready, Malcolm. If that card has a printed strength icon, heal 1 damage from Malcolm. Limit once per phase.
Okay, and then his second signature ally was Randall, who is a 2 thwart, 1 attack, also temporal X-Men. Similar, his action is you discard the resource to ready him, and if it has an energy resource, you heal a damage to him. So, and surprisingly enough, those are the colors that come on something coming up.
But first, we got Bishop's Rifle. It's a 2-cost upgrade. Temporal weapon. It's restricted. So restricted is you can only have 2 restricted items. Hero action, attack. Exhaust Bishop's Rifle and choose an enemy. Deal 1 damage to that enemy for each resource card in your hand. This attack gains range. And as we saw, when he takes damage,
he gets to potentially draw resource cards.
Right.
Well, mills them and brings them back.
Right. So you discard an equal number. Yeah, so when he takes any amount of damage, you discard an equal number of cards from the top of your deck and add the resource cards to your hand. Discard it this way. And so now you can, the more you have in your hand, the more damage the rifle will do. And we might see more in action.
And the important part of this is it's deal 1 damage for each resource card. So it's card and not resource icons. So that's important. Here we've also got his uniform. It's a 2-cost upgrade. This is another temporal item here, so he can bring it back when he's an alter ego. But after you resolve Bishop's energy absorption ability, which is that, he exhausts his uniform, heal 1 damage from Bishop for each resource card in your hand. So between these, they definitely, it pays to have extra resources in your hand.
Okay. Then we've got 2 copies of Supercharged. And Supercharged is a 0-cost upgrade. It's a superpower. It's an action. Discard a resource card from your hand. Place 1 charge counter here for each resource icon on that card. Then as an interrupt, a hero interrupt, when you make a basic attack, you can discard Supercharge. You get +2 attack for this attack for each charge counter here to a maximum of +8 attack. So you can do 10 damage. So it's kind of like Captain Marvel's energy absorption.
Yep. Okay, so then we've got here 2 copies of Concussive Blast, which is a 3-cost event here. Oh, I thought that's the printing on the card. I thought that was a glare. But it is a superpower attack. As a hero action, deal 6 damage to an enemy. If you paid for the event with a resource card, you can ready Bishop.
All right. And then his thwarting card is Command Authority. 2-cost event, thwart, hero action thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme. If you paid for this event with a resource card, draw a card.
Ooh, I like the sound of this one here. This energy conversion. It is a 0-cost defense event. So as a hero interrupt, when an enemy attacks, and it does not say when it attacks Bishop, so just anytime an enemy attacks, shuffle each resource card in your discard pile into your hand. You cannot take more than 3 damage from the attack. So if it's attacking you, I wonder if that's a typo. So if it's attacking you, you can only do 3. So I wonder if he's attacking somebody else and does 5 damage to somebody else, if you can get 5 cards. They don't really clarify.
Well, no, I mean,
it says you cannot more than 3 damage.
I mean, if you were the target.
If you're the target.
If you're not the target, you would.
Yeah, if you're not the target. I'm just wondering if that's intentional or not.
We'll see. There'll be an FAQ or something on it. All right, so we have 3 copies of Stored Energy, so he's really rich like Black Panther. Stored Energy is...
Notice there's those 2 that I was talking about.
Strength, so yeah, that helps with Randall and...
Randall and Malcolm both. They're looking for the strength and energy here.
Yeah, so this card can help for either ally. And you get 3 copies of that.
Okay, so now we are into the extra or the non-bishop cards in the deck that he comes with. So our first one here, he comes with another ally here, Cable. Cable is a 4-cost ally. He's X-Force with the psionic trait. He's 2 thwart, 3 attack. His 3 attack has double consequential. Consequential, that's the word. Okay. But as a response, after Cable thwarts and defeats a side scheme, draw a card. So thematically, they're still sticking with the whole side scheme thing with Cable. I like that.
Obviously, his precon is leadership.
Yep. I guess I forgot to say that.
So he's got another ally here, X-23, a 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 3 attack. X-Force traded, 3 hit points. Response, after X-23 attacks and defeats an enemy, ready her.
Okay. Then we have 3 copies of Team Training, which is a 2-cost support. It's a condition. You can play it under any player's control, maximum of 1 per player. And each ally you control gets +1 hit point.
So that's a reprint, but with new
updated art.
Yeah, X-Men art here. Okay, so we have 3 copies of Advanced Suit, which is an upgrade, armor item attached to an X-Force or X-Men ally, max 1 per ally. After attached ally defeats a minion or side scheme, discard 1 card from your hand. Heal 1 damage from attacked ally for each resource on that card. So for Bishop,
this one's the opposite of the other.
So for Bishop, if he does a stored energy, say, he could heal 2 hit points.
Yep. All right. Here's one of the fun new cards that come with this. It is the Sidekick card. It's a 1-cost upgrade, and it's a title that you can grant, but attached to an identity-specific ally you control. So, I mean, in most cases, there's only one specific ally, but Bishop has two, remember, so this is a good one for him. But there's a max of one of these per deck, which is why there's only one in here. But the attached ally gets +2 hit points and is your sidekick. And as a response, after you make a basic recovery, you heal the 2 damage to that ally.
All right, and then we've got an event that works with sidekicks. So it's called Side by Side. It's a 2-cost event. Hero action: ready your sidekick, ready your hero, and choose one. So you get to ready both. Heal 1 damage from both characters, or both characters get +1 thwart and +1 attack to the end of the phase. So this only works when you have a sidekick assigned, obviously.
Yep. Okay, so our next card then is a card called Suit Up. It is a 2-cost event. It's as an alter ego action, so as you're getting into your suit, so you're still alter ego. Search your deck and discard a pile for an ally and an upgrade that can be attached to that ally. Add them to your hand. Well, guess what? There's an upgrade right there that you can attach to your signature ally. All right, boys, it's time to suit up.
All right, then we have a reprint, but with new art. Lead from the front, 2-cost event, tactic, hero action, choose a player. Each character that player controls gets +1 thwart, +1 attack until the end of the phase.
All right. Yeah, we've seen that one put to good use several times. All right, now we also have here another reprint. Since we're going with a lot of resources with Bishop, we thought I guess they thought it would be good to give the X teams a new power of leadership. So new art for the power of leadership card, which doubles the number of resources if you use this to play for a leadership card.
All right. Then, of course, no deck is complete without some basic cards. So we've got Legion here. 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack with a asterisk. After Legion, 3 hit points, Psionic X-Men. Response: after Legion uses a basic power, discard the top card of your deck. If that card's printed resource has energy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Mental, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Physical, heal 2 damage from Legion.
Well, notice it's got to be printed, and it doesn't mention wild on there at all.
Right. So if you discard this guy, you are doing 2 damage to an enemy, and you're healing 2 from Legion.
Yep.
Or just make sure you have Swarm on your deck.
Oh, that'd be fun. Okay, but technically Swarm is only for a campaign. But that's okay. If you want to play with it, go for it, just to make use of him. All right, we've also got Marrow here, who is a 2-cost ally. He's got 1 thwart, 2 attack. He's got the X-Force trait. And you can only play him if you have the X-Force or X-Men trait. Her?
Marrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can only play her if you have the X-Force or X-Men trait. And as a response, after she enters play, deal 2 damage to an enemy.
Okay. Then we have the standard double resources, but with the X-Men art. Okay, so we got energy, strength, and genius.
All right, now getting into some more Bishop cards here. So we have his obligation, which is Fear the Future. So you give this to the Lucas Bishop player. He can flip to Alter Ego and choose to either exhaust Lucas Bishop and remove Fear of Future from the game. So back to the like the last waves or whatever, they didn't leave the game, so now we're leaving the game again here. Or you can discard this card and each resource card in your hand. Ouch. If there are no resources discarded this way, this card gains Surge.
All right, and then his nemesis is Trevor Fitzroy. 2 scheme, 3 attack, 5 hit points. He is elite, temporal, quick strike. After temporal, forced response. After Trevor Fitzroy attacks and defeats an ally, if Portal Through Time is in play, place 2 threat on it. Otherwise, find it and reveal it.
And what is it? Well, guess what? We just found it. Let's reveal it. Portal Through Time. That is Bishop's Nemesis side scheme. So it is first interrupt when a temporal card is revealed. It gains Surge. Limit once per phase. And it comes in with 4. And let's see, and acceleration token. So
okay, and then of course Trevor has to have Bantam with him. 2 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points, temporal. When revealed, if Portal Through Time is in play, place 2 threat on it. Otherwise, find Portal Through Time and reveal it. So now there's 3 ways for Portal Through Time to pop up.
It always comes back. Okay, and then finally we end off with 2 copies of Temporal Trickery. It is the Treachery from the Nemesis set. It's a temporal card, and when revealed, discard a card in your hand with the most printed resource icons. Place 1 threat on each scheme for each resource icon on that card. Oh, wow. Yay, so it's like more, yeah, oh, wow. Okay, so much fun, so much fun.
So I guess you could add these temporal Nemesis cards to your hand, right? No.
Right, they're not in your discard pile.
Not in your discard pile, but okay. So that was Bishop. All right. The other hero we'll set up, and we'll do the other hero.
Okay, and now here we have Ileana Rasputin. She's got 3 recoveries. She is a mutant with mystic powers. As an interrupt, when you change to hero form, so hers actually triggers when you change. That's interesting. So you choose a spell in your discard pile and put it on top of your deck. Limit once per phase.
Okay. Then we got Magik. She is a 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense, mystic X-Men. Play with the top card of your deck face up. So people have been talking about this is great because it's like Gandalf, I guess, in the Lord of the Rings. Once per phase, you may play the top card of your deck as if it was in your hand, reducing its resource cost by 1.
Oh, so you can actually technically do it twice a turn. That's nice. All right, and then her signature ally is her big brother, Pietro, or Peter. Pietro.
That's how I pronounce
it. Okay, Pietro. Colossus. We'll just do it the easy way. It's Colossus. So he's a 3-cost ally with 2 thwart and 2 attack. He's an X-Men. He comes in with toughness. As an interrupt, when an enemy attacks you, play Colossus from your hand, paying his resource costs, and declare him the defender without exhausting him. Oh, that is nice. So, yeah. Take advantage of that toughness right away.
All right. Then we got Limbo, which is a 1-cost support with the new keyword Dimension. After the villain phase begins, exhaust Limbo. Swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. And as an action, exhaust Limbo, swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. So you can kind of control, so you could do it during the hero phase as an action, but if you don't, when the villain phase begins, you can do it. So after you draw your new hand, you can like go, oh, I want this card on top of my deck for the next hero phase. So that's pretty nice.
Okay, then we have Magik's Crown. It is a 2-cost upgrade. Item Magik gains steady. While the top card of your deck has either a mental or a wild resource icon, Magik gets +1 thwart.
Okay. And then we have the Soul Sword, which is a 1-cost upgrade to weapon. Restricted. Magik's basic attack gains piercing. And then while the top card of your deck has a strength or wild, Magik gets +1 attack.
Okay. So when she's got them both out, then she gets something for every card. All right, then we have Magik's Mystical Armor. It is a 1-cost upgrade. When she gets it, she gets Retaliate. And while the top card of your deck has either an energy or a wild resource icon, she gets +1 defense.
All right, then we got a 0-cost event, Scrying. It's a spell. So look at the top 3 cards of your deck, draw 1, discard 1, and put 1 back on top of your deck. So this is kind of like Dominion's Lookout card. Huh?
Yeah. Okay, now we have 3 copies of the Stepping Disc, which is a 1-cost event. It's a superpower. And as a hero action, ready your hero. Choose a magic card in your discard pile, not named Stepping Disc, and put it on top of your deck. So, wow. So we also play Arkham Horror, and this definitely feels familiar right here. It is a survivor card.
All right, then we have 2 copies of Exorcism, which...
When you play this, you have to play the Exorcist theme song.
No, you do not.
Okay.
It's a 2-cost event, spell thwart, hero action thwart, remove 4 threat from a scheme. If the top card of your deck is a mental or wild, confuse the villain.
So yeah, now we're really starting to see kind of why we want to have all the different cards on top, or have the card on top of your deck. Yeah, you want to kind of control what icons it has, because here with the Soul Strike, which we have 2 copies of this in the deck, it's a 2-cost event. It's an attack spell. As an attack, a hero action, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If the top card of your deck has a strength or a wild, stun that enemy.
Okay. Then we got the defense of the trilogy here going. So Magic Barrier, 1-cost event, defense spell, hero interrupt defense. When an enemy initiates an attack, prevent 3 damage from this attack. If the top card of your deck has energy or wild resource icon, deal 3 damage to the attacking enemy.
All right. Okay, so that does it for the Magic's hero specific cards. But now we get into her aspect cards. Yeah, that's right. So she's obviously playing aggression here. And we start off with Gold Balls, who is a 3-cost ally, does 1 thwart, 1 attack, and he's an X-Men with 3 health. As interrupt, when Gold Ball attacks, discard up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. He gets plus X attack for this attack, where X is the number of cards discarded this way. So yeah, you can kind of control how much he does. But my favorite part about him, I think, here is if you look at his flavor text down here, I didn't choose this name.
Okay. The other ally is Tempest. It's a 2-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack. She's an X-Men. Play only if your identity has the X-Men trait. Interrupt. When the villain would scheme, discard Tempest, cancel that activation, deal yourself a face-down encounter card.
Okay.
So Star-Lord would like that.
Yep. All right, so now here we go with 3 copies of Blood Rage. In the deck, the 1-cost upgrade, its condition, max 1 per player. As a response, after you defeat an enemy with a basic attack, exhaust Blood Rage and take a damage to draw a card. And that's a reprint, right?
No.
Isn't it? Oh, I thought I'd seen that card before.
Nope.
Maybe that was whenever we looked at the preview or something.
Then we have 3 copies of a 1-cost upgrade called Test of Defense. It's a skill, max 1 per player. Response, after you play an attack event, place 1 test counter here. If there are 5 test counters here, discard this card and deal 5 damage to an enemy.
Okay. So we have here a full body charge. There's 3 copies of this in the deck. It's a 4-cost event. It's an attack as a hero action. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. If your hero's remaining hit points are less than half of your hero's starting hit points, this attack gains overkill.
All right. Then we have a reprint here. Clobber, 2-cost event. It's an attack, hero action attack. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. If this is the first card you played this round, return this card to your hand. It feels good to hit ninjas again, Psylocke.
All right. So then we also have here the Power of Aggression. 2 copies of this in the deck, and it is max for 2 per deck. It's the resource that doubles the number of resources if you use it to play an aggression card. So that's the reprint, but with magic in the artwork.
All right, then we do basic cards here. So we got a 2-cost ally, triage, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit points, X-Men, response. After triage enters play, heal 2 damage from an X-Men character.
Okay, next here we've got a 3-cost support. It is the Stepford Cuckoos. It's a persona, and they're psionic. And you can only play this if you have the X-Men trait. It comes in with 3 counters. As an interrupt, when a player reveals a treachery, you can exhaust the Cuckoos and remove one of the side counters here. Cancel the effects of that card and discard it. That player reveals another encounter card. So now there's a little bit extra there for Black Widow to use.
Blood Gem, 0-cost upgrade item. Play only if your identity has the Mystic trait, max 1 per deck. Exhaust resource. It's a resource card. Exhaust Blood Gem and take 2 damage. Generate a wild resource.
Oh, hey, we've got 3 copies of a basic spell, and it looks like it's a handy little spell there for a Mystic. It's a 2-cost event. It's a spell that can only be played if you have the Mystic trait. As a hero action, you choose to either heal 3 damage from an identity, remove 3 threat from a scheme, or deal 3 damage to an enemy. So it's got some utility there.
All right, then we have a reprint of Spiritual Meditation, 0-cost event, spell. Play only if your identity has the Mystic trait. Action, draw 2 cards, choose and discard 1 card from your hand.
Okay, now moving on to Psychic's negative cards here. So we've got her, Magic, sorry. We've got her obligation here. It is Dark Child. So you give it to the Ileana Rasputin player. You may flip to alter ego form and choose. You can exhaust Ileana to remove Dark Child from the game, or you can deal 1 damage to each character you control to discard the obligation.
All right. Then we have her nemesis, Velasio. I guess.
Velasco.
Velasco. Okay. 1 scheme, 1 attack, 6 hit points. Elite Limbo. Villainous. Force response. After Velasco activates against you, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If Ruler of Limbo is in play, attach those cards to it face down.
Okay. All right, and Ruler of Limbo is the side scheme. So, threat cannot be removed from this scheme while Velasco is in play. When revealed, the Ileana Rasputin player finds Limbo and attaches it face down here. When the scheme is defeated, put Limbo into play under its player's control. And so this comes in with 3 threat on it. And it has a, what is that one called? Amplify icon on it.
All right, then we have Sim. It's a 2 scheme, 2 attack, 5 hit points, Limbo traded, guard. When revealed, if Ruler of Limbo is in play, place 2 threat on it. Otherwise, place 2 threat on the main scheme.
Okay. We also have Witchfire, who is another minion. It's a 1 scheme, 3 attack. She's got the Limbo keyword, also has Quick Strike. And as a force response, after Witchfire attacks and defeats an ally, place 1 threat on Ruler of Limbo. Otherwise, put that threat on the main scheme.
All right. And then we have Battle for Limbo. It's the Treachery. When revealed, each Limbo minion in play activates against the player it is engaged with. If no Limbo minions activated this way, this card gains Surge. And as a boost, if Ruler of Limbo is in play, place 2 threat on it.
Okay, so it definitely sounds like you want to try to get that out of there as quickly as you can, because otherwise everything that deck comes with is adding more to it.
Yeah, but then it turns around and just puts it on the main scheme.
Yeah.
So you can't avoid
that is true. That is true.
All right. Well, so that was Bishop and Magik. And
like I said, I think the thing that strikes me the most is Magik definitely looks like, unlike some of the decks that you can build that can kind of, if you build them and get them going, they can kind of run on autopilot. She cannot, because she has to constantly be thinking about what's on top of her deck and what's going to be on top of her deck if she puts something back or whatever. So she's going to require a little bit more thought while you're playing than some of the others.
Yeah, it may not quite be new user friendly, but the Mystics are kind of like that. You know? So, okay, well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe on this camera. That is thumbs up, or thumbs are super big. And watch for us starting the campaign.
Coming soon.
All right, thank you. Hey everyone, if you like that, we got more videos. There should be one where Dirk's pointing. There should be one up there, one over there, and you can subscribe down there. Thank you.